Hello friends, welcome to Snippet Snacks. This is my first video on Java. In this video we are going to learn what is Java and why people use Java, why most people use Java, and various Java platforms like JSC, JEE and JME. After that we will discuss where to program Java. Okay, let's go. What is Java? Okay, Java is a well-structured, high-level programming language. What is the need of Java while we have C and C++ during that times? Initially, in the olden days, it becomes very difficult to program different devices like TVs, set-top boxes, radios, mobiles, etc. In those days, there is no single programming language that can be used to program all these devices. Hence, a person, James Gosling, with his team developed a programming language which can be used to program any of the device irrespective of its operating system and its system hardware. And this programming language is called Java. Okay, next, why people use Java? Java has many features, and that's why more people prefer to use Java. Some of the most popular features are discussed as follows. Okay. First thing is it follows VORA, which means write once, run anywhere. A single Java program can be used to run in any of the popular OS like Windows, Mac OS and Ubuntu Linux systems, etc. Next is very flexible and structured language. All the program in Java is structured in objects which we will discuss later. These objects can be used to bind data into it, therefore providing more consistency and flexible to our program. Okay, next feature is it is used in billions of devices, that means many of the devices are running on Java and it is very popular. Hence most people prefer this. As it is a popular programming language, more people learn that to get the job in the IT sector. Next is security. This is one of the most important feature why companies prefer to use Java. Companies prefer to use Java only because of the security features and its flexibility. Java provides a very secure way of writing programs. Next is easy to learn. If you are familiar with C and C++, you can easily learn Java. I recommend to learn C++ before learning this. Next is Java is a universal programming language, used to build apps, desktop softwares and used to program microsystems also. We will discuss this step detail in Java platforms. Okay, Java platforms. Generally there are three platforms where you can use Java. First is Java SC or JSC, which means Java Standard Edition. It is also called Core Java in learning terms. Many people said it is Basic Java or Core Java. Generally, people teach Core Java, that is JSC. Okay. Generally, it is used to develop apps for Windows, Linux, Mac OS, etc. JSC is used to write basic programs that doesn't include connection to internet, that doesn't require connecting to the internet. That means offline desktop softwares or Android apps, etc. Many of the Android apps are running on Java programming language. Next is Java EE or JEE. Java EE means Java Enterprise Edition, also called Advanced Java. It consists of topics like servlets and JSPs, which we will discuss later. This Java EE is used to develop web applications where internet is required. Java EE is used to program various servers, backend support, which means if you enter data like username or passwords in any of the websites or on apps, the data is stored on database. Before storing into the database, your data gets processed on the server, which is written using Java programming language. The Java language can be used to program various servers like web servers, application servers, file servers, etc. Okay, the next thing is JME or Java ME, which means Java Micro Edition. Java Micro Edition is used to program microsystems like Arduino, NodeMCU and other embedded systems like Raspberry Pi, etc. It is used in custom built chips also. Java ME provides a consistent way of writing program into microchips or microsystems. Installing Java. And in this step we first going to learn where to program Java. Okay. Generally, Java can be programmed in command prompt after installing Java libraries. It may be JSC libraries or Java EE libraries or JME libraries. After installing Java libraries, you can program it in command prompt. But most programmers use IDEs, which means Integration Development Environment, because they provide very powerful development features like auto completing features, compile time error detection features, and reformatting, many more features that cannot be explained in words, and many of the debugging features also. Okay, some popular freely available Java IDEs are Eclipse, IntelliJ Basic, and NetBeans, etc. But in these videos we will be using IntelliJ Basic or IntelliJ Community Edition, as it is the most powerful IDE for Java. Okay, now how to install Java and get started with Java programming language. First of all, you need to download Java libraries. For that, I will show you the link. Here, go to the browser and type download JSC. You will see the first site from Oracle, which says JSC download. Okay, open that link. Now the latest version of Java is 14, JSC 14. You can also download previous versions if you have any idea. Okay, to download the latest version, just click on this JDK download. After clicking on JDK download, you will see this page, which is saying different JDK versions for various operating systems. It is Debian Linux. Okay, this is for Mac OS, this is for Windows 64-bit compressed. Okay, anything. If you are Windows 64-bit version, download this. Click on this link. Accept the terms and conditions and click on download link. You can see that it is downloading. As I already have the JDK version, I am using JDK 13 version. Now I will cancel this download. Okay, after you download your JDK files, here it is my 13th version. You will see 14th version here. Okay, after you download it, double click on it. It is saying the JDK is already installed in your system. Would you like to reinstall it? Yes. Okay, click on next. Select your path in your Java files are stored. Click on next. That's some process. Okay, it's installed successfully. Click on close. To check if the Java is successfully installed in your system, go to command prompt and type Java space hyphen version. See, since my JDK version is 13, it is showing 13. For you, if you have installed 14th version, it will show you 14. Okay. Now search for environment variables in your start menu. Click on environment. It will show you the options like this. Edit the system environment variables. Edit environment for variables for account. Anything. Click on system. Okay. Environment variables. Now go to the location where you have installed your Java libraries. It is the default path in program files in Java. Okay, it is JDK 13. For you it may be JDK 14. Click on this bin. Okay, now click on here and copy this path. Click copy. Now go to your environment variables. Okay, here go to this path variable. Go to this path. Click on this edit add new variable and copy it. Okay. And now in this location, go back and copy this JDK13 not bin, copy this location, copy, here create a variable. Here you want to create two environment variables. First is Java home. These are all capital letters. Space is replaced with this underscore. And copy that location path here. Okay. Java home. Now second variable is JRE home. Paste the same location. Okay. Now all is done with the Java. Okay. Now you can run Java program in your system. Now Java libraries have been installed in your system. Now I will show you how to install IntelliJ Community Edition in your system and get started with the programming in IntelliJ Community Edition. For this, go to your browser and click on Install IntelliJ Community, search for it. Okay, here is the page, jetbrains.com/idea/download. It is the page. Don't forget this. JetBrains is the company that provides IntelliJ IDEA for us. On this, you will see this ultimate version, this community version. For this ultimate version, you have to pay on a yearly or monthly basis. For this community version, it is free to use Java. You can see the benefits that you get with Ultimate Edition and with Basic Edition. Okay. If you are using Mac, select your Mac, or if you are using Linux, select Linux. For me it is Windows, and selecting Windows, select a zip file or exe file as you want. I am now selecting exe. Okay, download link. It will be downloaded. See, it will getting downloaded. Can you say it is downloading. I have already installed IntelliJ. As I have only 2 GB of data, I am cancelling it. For you, after installing IntelliJ IDEA, after you download your IntelliJ exe file, go to that location where you have downloaded it and install it. Double click on it or open it. Here I have already installed IntelliJ. It is already in my system. Hence I am not installing it. Otherwise I will lost all my IntelliJ updates. See here, I have already installed it. But I will show you how to install it. Go to your browser and click how to install IntelliJ. How to install IntelliJ. Here the first link comes from the JetBrains, which is install IntelliJ IDEA. Click on this link. After you double click on it, it may be either community or IntelliJ community or Ultimate Edition. It is the system requirements for your system. IntelliJ is a heavy software. For this, it is recommending at least 2 GB of free RAM and 8 GB of total RAM recommended. After going through, when you open the IntelliJ, installing it, it will show you this page, which is to install 32-bit launcher or 64-bit launcher as your desktop icon, and select the extensions that IntelliJ deals with your system. For Java, it is Java. For Kotlin, it is Kotlin. Selecting both and Groovy can be useful. After this page, it will show you this page. Means it will ask you to select a theme, Dracula, which is dark theme, and light, which is light theme. Both are good in their perspective, but most people prefer to choose Dracula. And after that, after selecting this, it will show you this page, which shows all the tools that IntelliJ provides. For Ultimate version, IntelliJ also provides programming with Spring, which are Java frameworks, Java EE, Hibernate, etc., which belongs to the internet or web frameworks. After that, it will provide build tools, which are also available for Java SE, and it will give you the free HTML, CSS, and web editors, which are very powerful, and version control to control with your GitHub. After that, it will provide you test tools, which are also important. It will, in ultimate version, it will also help you in connecting to your servers from the IntelliJ IDEA, and this will also provide your programming with your Android and etc. After click on this next feature, after this start using IntelliJ, it will give you this page. I have already choose a page for you like this. It will show you this page after installing it. These are my previous projects. For you, this will not appear, don't worry. To get started programming with IntelliJ, you have to create a project. So click on create new project. It will show you this page. Select this Java, which is used to program Java SE. I am using the IntelliJ Ultimate Edition. For you, this will not appear, don't worry. Okay, click on this Java. After that, you may not have this, as it is a newly installed product. You have to configure your IntelliJ with your Java. For that, click on this new or existing anything to choose a folder and point this to your location where you have installed your Java libraries. I have installed two Java libraries, which are Java 13 and Java 13.1. I am using Java 13 and pointing it to the JDK 13 directory and click on OK. It will automatically fetch all the Java libraries and make them easy to use for you. Okay. If you want me to explain some of this, I will tell you. This Java Enterprise Edition is used to deal with Java EE, which is for web programming. Here you have to connect your application server, which may be your localhost server or remote server. This JBoss is application server which is from Oracle company. I don't know about this cloud. This Spring framework, JavaFX, which is used to design a great user interface for your desktop. In these modern days, JavaFX is not being highly used. After that, you can program Android from this IntelliJ also. Basically, Android provides a Android Studio, which is also developed by JetBrains company for programming Android. But IntelliJ also helps you in programming Android with this IntelliJ Community or Basic Edition. Okay, after that, Maven, Gradle, build tools, Groovy, these are also build tools. Kotlin, which is another programming language. You can also do Kotlin with from IntelliJ. This Groovy is also another programming language, I think. Okay, going to Java SC and selecting your JDK version, click on next. Okay, click on next. After this, it will ask you for your project name. Your first project name, I am giving it as my first project in Java. You can give any name. I am just giving a simple name like this. Okay, after click on open, it will open a new dialog. These are the tips that IntelliJ provides you on every day. These are very helpful. IntelliJ provides a very lot of themes, lot of tools which are very useful. Okay, after you create your project, this screen will be displayed to you. Okay, now where to write Java program. After this, click on and extracting this, you will see this source folder. Right click on this source folder. Click on new and select Java class. If you have previously programmed with the command line, you may have not encountered these type of steps. But coming to IDEs, it may be IntelliJ Basic, NetBeans or Eclipse. When you create a class, they will ask you to give the class name like this. For example, this is my first program. I am giving my class name as Hello Java. Don't use any spaces here. I will tell you why class names are very important, why we should not use any spaces in these. Just keep it capital H and capital J, type as it is. Okay, enter. This is your class file. I already tell you that everything in Java happens in objects only. In any Java program, the execution of program starts from the main function. Here it will create you the class name with this basic. Okay, here you have to write your Java program. Creating the main function, public static void main string okay. Every Java program, the execution of every Java program starts from the main function. Hence you have to define your main function in your class file, in your Java class. I will tell you each and every keyword we have used, like public, static, void, these string arguments, etc. in this video. Before that, first complete our simple program, which may be hello Java or hello world, anything you want to write. You can write your name also. System, which starts with capital S dot out, all small letters, dot println, all are small letters because it is a function. Semicolon, don't forget the semicolon. In the double quotes, write anything, your name or your college name, any name you want. I am writing hello Java. This is my first Java program. That's it. A full stop. Okay. To run this program, click Ctrl Shift and F10 all at one time. Ctrl Shift F10. It will compile and run your program. See, this is building the program, finish the sync task. Here it is the output. Hello Java, this is my first Java program. We are just printing out a small thing in the console. Okay, this is the first Java program. Okay, now I will explain each of these words in this program. First of all, this public, this class, this void, this static, these all are called keywords. In Java, these keywords are predefined. That is already comes from the language, comes from this Java library. These keywords are used to give additional properties to their holders. For example, this hello Java is a holder of this public and this class keywords. This main function is a holder of this public, static and this void. Okay. For each keyword has a different meaning. This public keyword means it allows this hello Java program to be accessible from outside of the class. And don't remember, every class that has a main function should be declared public. And this class variable is used to define hello Java as a class. The main function should always have these access specifiers, this public, static and this void, because when we run our Java program, the JRE or Java runtime environment calls this main method using this class name. For this main method to be accessible outside the class, it is declared public, and to allow this main method to be called directly using the class name, it is called static. And as this main method doesn't return any return type, this is called void. And this main method takes a parameter. For example, these declarations between these parentheses are called parameters of that function. For example, this params is a parameter to main function of type this string. This string here is a class. That is a predefined class, comes with the Java library. This string class and this params is a object. We can see this string class declaration in the Java libraries by using control, holding control and click on this string. It will load the string class. This is a string class defined in the library. We can see all the methods defined in this class, constants in this class, etc, etc. Okay, now this is the main function, and in Java classes doesn't contain any programming statements. Classes contain the functions and these functions contain the programming statements. This system.out.println is a programming statement that prints a simple hello world in our console like this. Here system is also a predefined class, which we can see here. These methods and more. This out is a object of print string class. This is where this println is a method or function in this print string class, and we are passing this string literal, also called string parameter, to this println function, as this is expecting a string as a parameter. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you for watching. This is my first video. If you found any discomfort or misfeel, please write it in the comment box or give a dislike. I will try to correct it. Like this video or subscribe this channel only if you think you learned something from this video. Okay, thank you.